2005, communities across Wisconsin have seen ever-tightening state-imposed limits on their budgets. A combination of state aids that have not increased and limitations on property tax increases below inflation have made it difficult for communities like Clintonville to make ends meet.
It's similar to a lot of the challenges that many other municipalities across the state are experiencing. Lack of growth, increased costs for services and construction.
The property tax is strictly a local tax, with its proceeds going only to support the operations of schools, counties, and municipal governments. Schools and local governments also rely on the state sharing income and sales taxes, but for city and village governments, those state payments often don't keep up with inflation.
The state has different forms, transportation aid, computer aid, some other things in there. They have different formulas that they set up and decide how much of the funding that the state collects that each municipality is going to get.
State levy limits prevent local property taxes from growing beyond the percentage of new buildings built in that community the year before. This net new construction number has been less than inflation for 9 out of 10 Wisconsin cities for more than 6 years. That means cutbacks in essential city services.
It's a struggle trying to balance being fiscally responsible with trying to make sure that we provide those services that they deserve.
The problem is particularly acute for small rural communities that often struggle to attract new residents, which in turn means tighter budgets.
But even when you're small, when you're near one of these bigger cities, you can kind of draw on that. Especially for a residential population, and we don't. I mean, there's not a lot of people that want to drive 45 minutes to an hour to go to work every day.
And Wisconsin is unlike any other state in its reliance on property taxes as the sole source of locally generated revenues. Eveland says ultimately local governments need a more balanced way to fund local services and more local control. And now you know you're Wisconsin.